Hello. Got my truck back together. Took it for a test drive, and it did not go well. First thing I noticed right off was my turning radius was gigantic. I mean, I'm not saying that I couldn't turn around on a road. I'm saying I could barely navigate my own driveway. I could not believe how wide the turning radius was. I knew it wasn't going to be as good as being on Coil Springs, but unbelievable. And then I had a kind of a missing spot in the middle of the steering, like it was loose right in the middle. Not like a quarter turn or anything, but there was just a little bit of play in the middle. I didn't like that, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. Whether the ring and pinion needs to be adjusted, because there is an adjustment for the ring and pinion, or whether having 3 universal joints and 2 slip joints on my steering shaft is just too much. I don't know yet. I haven't looked into that yet. The brakes were really bad the first time I took it out, so brought it back in. I bled the brakes again, and the brakes are much better. The good thing about this setup I have is the discs are about an inch bigger than the original Dodge, and somehow I managed to get longer calipers than the 05 F250. So my brake shoes ended up being an inch longer. So it's got massive brakes on the front now. I also made the upgrade on the rear wheel cylinder to the K30 Chevrolet wheel cylinder. Now, when I took my brakes apart, I'd been having this problem that when I started the truck, my right rear brake was a little grabby. And I found out why. My wheel cylinder was leaking inside, and it had made a mess out of everything in there. So it's really good that I took apart the rear brakes. So I took all the brake shoes and hardware off the spare truck I have, the truck frame, and I put all the new hardware on the rear of this truck. And I haven't done brake shoes in so long. All the springs and everything, I had to rethink how to do all that, but it went good. And the drums look good. And I got to tell on myself, somehow I managed to buy the wrong discs. So I got 2 discs sitting over here that wrong size, and I ended up I cleaned up the discs that I had that were just a little rusty. One side of one disc was a little rusty, and I cleaned it up real good and put it on. And I'm going to replace those later. And but now that I've driven it, this is not good. This is not good at all. And after doing all this work, it's really disheartening. So I think I finally figured out that I've got a Dana 60. But it's an earlier model than I thought it was. And it's got stops on it so that the steering knuckles can only go so far. And those stops, from what I've read, serve 2 purposes. One is so your tires don't hit the leaf springs. And the second is so that you don't tear up the universal joints inside of the steering knuckle. And they'll only go so far before those knuckles hit. And I'm going to look now, I'm going to check into this and see what is limiting the steering. I need more steering. I need less turning radius. That's just the bottom line. I don't think I can live with it the way it is. It is so bad. I literally had a hard time getting out of my own driveway. I could not turn out of my driveway into the opposite lane without going off the road. And no way could I make a U-turn, even at an intersection. And the truck was not noticeable before. The turning radius was I guess, fine. Now I've got a Nissan Frontier, which has got a horrible turning radius as well. And I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as what this is right now. So this is horrible news. I don't know any other way to say it. I still feel pretty good about the work I did. but I need to figure out how to put a front axle under here or modify this front axle so that it has a better turning radius. I need to figure out how to get that play out of the steering, and if I can't get that play out of the steering, then I need to rethink my entire steering setup. And if that means taking out the rack and pinion, then I'll take out the rack and pinion, because I can't have that big slop in the middle of the steering like that. So, like I said, bad news all around. Well, there's some good news. This power steering lines that I had made and installed, they didn't leak. They're fine. All the brake work that I did seems to be fine now that I bled the brakes. I do need to adjust the rear drums a little bit, but that's to be expected. And the truck, I mean, obviously it still runs great. It's only got 70,000 miles on it. Had a little trouble starting it up. I had a bad connection on one of my batteries, and I cleaned up all my connections and finally got that going again. It's got those stupid clamp-on terminals, and man, I can't wait to get rid of those stupid things. I've cleaned them up already once before, and this is the second time I've had to do it, and the corrosion that you get is just horrible. It makes you think your battery's dead. It acts just like your battery's dead. So I charged the battery and messed with the terminals, and then it kept doing it, so I finally cleaned up the terminals enough to get it to start up. And it spins great now, but it spun great 2 weeks ago, and then I would have been stuck somewhere. So I got to get new terminals or new cables. I don't mind crimping on the ends and getting the military style clamps, but I really wish I could just buy brand new OEM cables. I don't care what they cost. I would love to have brand new solid lead cable ends. I guess that's all I have for now. I'm going to tear into this thing and figure out somehow to get this turning radius better, figure out how to get the steering better. I mean, these are major problems, and they might not be easily solved. And if I got to go back to the drawing board, I'll go back to the drawing board. But that's all I got for now. Thanks for tuning in.